Well, ladies and gentlemen, I think we are about ready to get started with our Brangus and Red Brangus bull shows. If those bulls can make their way, once we get our class liner-uppers, we will get started. First class in the ring will be Class 2 Black Summer Bull Calves born May of 2020. Congratulations, first place will go to Pac Ponderosa with PP Sugar Ray 915J7. Next class in will be Class 3 Black Late Spring Bull Calves, born April 1st to April 30th of 2021. Well, congratulations in Class 3, first place. We'll go to back number 2177, Scamardo Brangus. Second place in that class was exhibited by Chris Sankey. Third place was exhibited by KO's Cattle Service and Myron Sethoff. And fourth place was exhibited by Pac Ponderosa. Now in the ring, we'll bring in Class 4 Black Early Spring Bull calves born March of 2021. Congratulations in Class 4, first place exhibited by Pac Ponderosa with PP Mr. President 915J3, and second place exhibited by Allen Cattle Company. We'll now bring in Class 6 Black Early Junior Bull calves born January of 2021. After this class, we will select your champion and reserve junior bull calves. Congratulations in Class 6, first place was exhibited by back number 2196, MPMR Magnum 804J65, exhibited by MP Brangus Ranch. We're now going to bring in those first and seconds. We'll be selecting a champion reserve junior bull calf. This is the 15-minute call over here in Ring 2. We are going to start your British White show here in a few minutes. Congratulations, your champion junior bull calf goes to back number 2196. MPMR Magnums 804J65, exhibited by MP Brangus Ranch. Who's reserve? Well, congratulations. Your first place out of Class 7 will go to back number 2200, ACC Howdy 358H, exhibited by Allen Cattle Company. Next class in will be Class 8, Black Senior Bull Calves, born September to October of 2020. Congratulations in Class 8. First place exhibited by 2204. Villa's Mr. Dynamite 74H6, exhibited by Villa Ranch. And second place went to KO's Cattle Service and Williams Ranch Company with WRC Mr. Cuervo 2H4. We're now going to bring in your first and seconds and select the Champion Reserve Senior Bull Calf. Congratulations, your champion senior bull calf exhibited by Allen Cattle Company. And your reserve champion exhibited by Villa Ranch. Congratulations to those exhibitors. We're now bringing Class 7 Red Winter Bull calves born November to December of 2020. Congratulations in Class 7. First place was exhibited by Dos Ex Cattle Company, and second place exhibited by Sendero Red Brangus and Trio. Now in the ring will be Class 8 Red Senior Bull calves born September to October of 2020. We are going to be getting started over here in Ring 2 just momentarily with your British White Junior Female show. We'll be starting with Class 1 here in Arena 2. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are ready to get started here in Arena 2 with your junior British white female show. We're going to look to start with Class 1. We're excited to introduce your judge this afternoon, Mr. Jeff Bedwell of Isabella, Oklahoma. He lives there with his wife, Diane, and daughter, Jennifer. He's the sales agronomist for Nutrient Ag Solutions in Fairview, Oklahoma. Jeff and Bedwell family have owned and maintained registered shorthorn cattle for over 100 years in the Isabella, Oklahoma area. Jeff has judged numerous beef cattle shows in the U.S., Australia, and Canada. For those of you sitting ringside, join me in welcoming our judge, Mr. Jeff Bedwell. Well, congratulations. Over here in Ring 1, we have the results of Class 8. First place exhibited by Trio Cattle and Genetics and Genetica Triple F. Second place exhibited by Tanica Ranch. And third place exhibited by EEDM Show Cattle. We're now going to bring in your first and seconds, and our judge will select his Champion Reserve Senior Bull Calves.
Over on our British white side, just beginning that heifer show in our junior division with a really nice heifer calf, a May Baby, one that shows us some body and volume, some natural width and spread and body cavity. Heifer calf that is pretty nice on her feet and legs and has some good angularity up through her front end. I like her correctness down her top line. I certainly could see her maybe just a tick stronger in her feature with regards to foot and bone work, but a little bit of a breed character issue there. An awfully nice heifer calf. Congratulations to our exhibitor.
Well, congratulations over here in Ring 2, first place in Class 1, exhibited by Becca Olson with Old Stone Julie Mays Marley May. Well, congratulations, in your senior bull calf division champion was exhibited by Dos X's Cattle Company, and reserve champion exhibited by Trio Cattle and Genetics and Genetica Triple F. Congratulations to those exhibitors. Now in the ring, we're going to bring class 9 and 10 in together. This will be your summer division here in your Red Brangus Bull Show.
When you get behind him, you see a lot of red meat, a lot of trueness of muscle in his top and his hip and his hind leg. I think when you analyze it on the side profile, you just like to balance him out, make him a little softer and change that front end and shoulder. Really take care of some of these. Over on our British White side, I think we've got a nice set of heifer calves. One that starts our class that I think is very striking as we see her lead out. Let's go ahead and lead your class winner off, if you would, please. I think a heifer calf that's pretty striking from the standpoint of her correctness of top line design. She blends very neatly into her shoulder and neck junction. I think she's very uniform in the way that she handles herself out of her blade transition into her upper rib, and as she comes back into a nice square hip, she's got a pretty big advantage in terms of dimensions in regards to her skeleton, a bigger, more solid foot that's got a better shape to it than the two heifers that are going to be below her. I think she makes a nice place to start, and she really gives up maybe some depth of body to these other two heifers, but I don't see in terms of composition that she actually gives up any volume because of her actual width. I think she still excels these heifers that are here in second and third. Let's lead those two heifers, and we'll go ahead and comment about them as they travel. This is a really long, easy-moving heifer that comes next in second, one that's very comfortable as she gets out and travels. You get down and look at those feet. She wants to get them, they're just a little bit misshaped and a little long-toed, and I think just a little attention to those could really make her set off and look quite nice right out of her top line, and as she comes out of her hip, I think we could see some improvement there. And a heifer that I think probably just needs opened up a bit through her forerib and down into her stifle to compete against our class winner. Her advantages over the heifer in third is her angularity and quality through her front third. That heifer ties a little nicer in two that we find in three in regards to that neck shoulder junction, perhaps just a little more correct as she goes off her hind leg. Like the foot shape, like the depth of body and the depth of flank we find in that heifer that's third, just not nearly as feminine designed up through her front third, not nearly as long strided as that heifer in second.
Congratulations in your second class over here in our British White Show. First place exhibited by Kylie Spradling. Second place exhibited by Wyatt Moore. And third place went to Keegan Hockerman. We're now bringing class 3 over here in your British White Show.
We have a single entry on our British White side, a February-born heifer calf that I think compositionally has got some thickness to her and some natural shape and spring and arch to her rib. Probably needs to have just a nickel more performance to her to be more like maybe a couple of those heifers we saw in a class previous to her, but a good strong muzzled heifer that's got some great character to her and some distinction about her points. We like her length of hip, we like her depth of flank and her uniformity throughout her body. Again, congratulations to our exhibitor.
Well, currently in ring 1, we are going to bring in your first and seconds and select a champion reserve yearling bull. And back over here in the British White Show, our judge selected Keegan Hockerman to be first in class 3. Now in the ring is class 4. Congratulations, your champion in that division. We'll go to back number 2217, Mill Creek Landing Cattle and Trust Fund Syndicate. And reserve in that division exhibited by back number 2221, KO's Cattle Service and Williams Ranch Company. Now in the ring, we'll bring in Class 11 Red Spring Yearling Bulls born March to April of 2020.
I think we're just going to leave the two heifers as they led in this British White Show. The heifer calf that wins this class, and I think this is a really, really close pair, and I've had them in my mind both ways as they've moved about the ring. And when they do get in motion, I do think the heifer in second has some advantages in being a little more comfortable in her top line. She stays maybe a little truer as she goes through the different surfaces we've got here in the ring. She maybe is a little more comfortable in certain places in that ring than our heifer that wins the class. But when we park them, that heifer that sorts to the first place position for me does so fairly handily. She's more correct out of the backside of her shoulder. She works to a longer hip. I think her balance is better because she's uniform in her body depth and back into her flank. I think her angles up through her shoulder are really pretty good. And I think as we watch this heifer move about the ring, she also has some advantages in width as we hit the surface with those hind legs. And I think she also has a little more natural thickness through the center of her body. Heifer in second, again, maybe reaches a little more comfortably at times, just not quite the same balance and look in terms of presence we get with this heifer when we stop her. Maybe not quite as correct on her feet as we study her at the ground, not quite as correct on her hind leg. But a nice pair of heifers. Again, congratulations to our exhibitors.
Well, congratulations over here in your British White Show. Your first place in Class 4 exhibited by Cameron Oaks, and second place exhibited by Savannah Warren. We'll now bring in Class 5.
Well, a nice single entry in this fall heifer calf class, a September heifer calf that I think really has nice dimension up through her forerib, carries that back pretty honestly back into the center of her body, one that reaches her stride pretty comfortably. She's not a real big one out here in terms of her frame size. I guess I'd call her more conservative in her pattern or makeup, maybe a little more conservative in her build, but one that is very well designed in terms of her overall smoothness of shoulder to rib transition. The length of muscle that we see in that heifer is really good. Her feet haven't had a lot of work, and they've got a nice natural shape to them as well. Again, congratulations to our exhibitor.
Well, congratulations over here in Ring 1. Results of Class 11 and your yearling division. Champion goes to Maxwell Cattle Company and reserve champion GKB Brangus. Now in ring 1 is class 13, Black Senior Yearling Bulls born September to December of 2019.
We have a pretty nice single entry once again in our British White Junior show. A heifer that's got some quality to her and some depth of body. She's not got a lot of condition on her, but her substance is pretty honest and legitimate in regards to her skeletal width. Her depth of rib, her depth of forerib carries back extremely well into her flank and into that rear rib region. She's a big structured female. You study her at the ground, her foot shape's good, her width of base is good, and again, a good strong muzzle on this female that I think shows us some character and some potential to have good longevity. Again, congratulations to our exhibitor. Over on our British White side, I think we've really got a nice set of junior yearlings, February-born females that look like they're at a good stage of their life in terms of their production potential. Big, strong female that starts our group with. She's not without some issues. I'd like to maybe work on some things up through the front third of her skeleton, particularly at the ground. She's got as much condition as she probably needs to have, and some might like to be just a little flatter up through the top of her crest, but that's a really good bodied one. She travels very true and very authentic in terms of her skeletal width. She spreads nicely down her top to be met very, very complementary with good degree of width out her hip with the right kind of muscle system in her. She's a halter fighting machine out here, and so it's a little hard to get that right read through that front third to really tell what's going on there. But I think that's an awfully good one, and I think she deservingly is a nice competitor to win this class. I really dig a lot of things about the way this heifer's built in too. This one's extremely smooth. She takes a big old long step and a very comfortable step, and that's an advantage she has over our class winner. She's backing her knee nice. I like her cleanliness down through her chest floor to still have some substance and width to that chest. I like the shape she has to her rib. I like the refinement to her udder. She's simply as small as we would want one to be. I think we could probably expect her to be just a little bigger in maturity. But what a nice bunch of breeding pieces she brings for the young lady to work with in regards to her smoothness, her completeness, her balance, and her correctness. Young lady's heifer that comes next gets a little stilty and straight up through her front end, maybe a little narrower gauge kind of heifer than the two heifers that are ahead of her in class, but an advantage she does have is the performance over that heifer in two. That's a bigger bodied, higher weight per day of age heifer that certainly has a big advantage in that regard compared to the heifer that beat her in second. Good set of females. Again, congratulations.
Well, congratulations. Back over here in Ring 1, your champion senior bull exhibited by MP Brangus Ranch and reserve champion exhibited by Megan Perry. Currently over in Ring 2, our judge, Mr. Jeff Bedwell, is going to select his grand and reserve grand champion, British White Junior Female.
Well, over on our British White side, we're ready to select a champion and reserve champion female in your junior show. Really, it's been a nice junior show. I've honestly better than I expected it might be in terms of both numbers and especially quality. They've been very, very well presented, and my compliments to the exhibitors with regards to both their showmanship and the presentation of the cattle. I really appreciate the effort that you've put into that, and I think it's to be rewarded with a nice round of applause. So if you would, let's recognize some effort out here today with a good round of applause for our British White exhibitors. I don't know that we necessarily have to go back through and discuss each of those heifers. I think there's 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 of them that have a legitimate need to be recognized. Heifer out of Class 2, I think, is one that you just kind of have to really, she's one that I gravitate to because of her striking look and presence. Her character is extremely good. She's really athletic as she gets out and travels. Her maturity is right on target for her birth date and her age. She's big at the ground in terms of her features of foot and bone, but still yet has a feminine look and design to her skeleton. I think she's one that has to be recognized and commented on. Actually, the next couple are kind of in that group as well. The young lady's heifer immediately behind her in Class 3, a little different kind of heifer, a little more moderate size female, a little smoother built heifer even with more depth of forerib. Maybe not quite the same kind of build in regards to the heaviness of structure or maybe the correctness of foot shape the heifer out of Class 2 has, but I think she's an awfully good one. You can see tremendous amount of doability in that heifer because of her rib shape and her overall smoothness. Young lady's leading a heifer out now that I thought came out of a nice class, and I thought a pretty good pair of heifers in that group. This one just happens to be a little more naturally thick than the heifer that she was showing against, and I think in this group or this lineup, this heifer still has to be recognized as one that's got some added shape and still maintains a pretty high degree of angularity through her front third. Her correctness out her hips nice. You like her foot shape and the way that she plants her feet. Just ever so often she wants to get a little up in her top as she gets out and travels. Nice heifer that follows her behind. And then we get down to these bigger heifers, and I think this big cow on the end is just pretty special and pretty unique in regards to the dimensions that she shows you. She starts strong at the ground in regards to the circumference of her foot. Her bone is big and strong, but still yet flat in her knees and good in her hocks. She's one that has some strength in terms of chest width and width of base and substance overall. Big old strong feature in that female in terms of her muzzle and her mouth. I like the way that spreads down her top and the way that she ends up hitting the ground pretty comfortably behind. Really a nice set of British Whites. It's absolutely been my pleasure to get to work through these cattle today. You've got an open show here to follow just briefly. We'll be curious to see how Jason works through those. Wish him the best, and congratulations again to our exhibitors. Let's give them all one more nice round of applause, and we'll make you a champion in reserve.
Well, congratulations over here in ring 2. Your grand champion, British White Junior Female, went to back number 629, exhibited by Kaylin Oaks. And congratulations, your reserve champion female, exhibited by Kylie Spalding. We are now going to bring in your Bull division here in your junior British White Show. Now in ring 1, we are going to bring your division champion reserves and select a senior champion over here in your Red Brangus show.
Well, as we go through our junior bull show, we've got two really nice calves. You know, just doing a little research on the breed before we started this show, I didn't realize how old a breed they were and how they were developed necessarily. And I guess I can understand now why we have seen a few small herds of these that have evolved in our area. And they're just so low maintenance and easy to deal with for the most part. And I think as you think about a breed of animals that have been on the planet for nearly 400 years, there's just not been a lot of changes or transitions with regards to selection pressure to phenotype and so forth. And these calves come in here and they're very fundamentally sound, good muzzled, good structured calves, big testicled cattle that just look like they're going to be very low maintenance and very easy to manage for folks. You can kind of see why they might fit an organic system or an all-natural program where there's very little influence of other things. But a pair of calves that I think we see differences in here in regards to muscle shape and expression. The calf that that's in the lead position, he's the one that's the younger of the two and not quite a year of age yet. Adequate performance, but a big, strong forearm in that calf, a nice, smooth blade in that calf in terms of his shoulder. Power is that calf's middle name because of the expression we see spread over his top line. Again, excellent testicles on a calf for no more maturity than he has, and a calf that I think is very, very correctly structured. Young lady's bull, it's a fall-age calf, is just a little flatter built. He's a little smoother up through his shoulder, a little longer in his front end perhaps, and a little different design in regards to muscularity that we find with the calf that stands in front of him. But a huge testicled calf, just not quite the same strength of feature and strength of muscularity we find with the calf. And I guess the calf that strikes me the hardest, or of these two bulls, the calf strikes me the most in regards to that muscularity and that overall eye appeal. We're going to make him your grand champion. We're going to make the calf behind him reserve. Let's give our two exhibitors a nice round of applause as we wrap up this Junior Bull Show.
No, we are not. We cannot. Congratulations over here in your British White Show, your Grand Champion Bull exhibited by Caden Hockerman and reserved to Keegan Hockerman. We are going to roll right into your Open White Show over here in Ring 2. Once again, we are going to start right away with your British White Open Female Show. We'll be starting with Class 10. That's just for the senior champion? Yep. And back over in your Brangus ring, your champion senior bull out of the red division goes to back number 2230, exhibited by EDM Show Cattle, and reserve champion went to back number 2231, exhibited by Cox Excalibur Brangus. We are now going to select your grand champion black Brangus bull, followed by the red Brangus bulls. Well, congratulations over here in your British White Show. Your champion showman will go to Cameron Oaks. Congratulations to Cameron. And we are now going to get started with your Open Female Show. We'll start with Class 10. We'll look for 3 entries in this class. Your judge this afternoon, Mr. Jason Hoffman. And congratulations, your grand champion Black Brangus Bull exhibited by back number 2196, MP Brangus Ranch with MP Mr. Magnum 804J65. And your reserve champion bull goes to back number 2177, Skamarta Brangus with SB Risky Business 924J15. Congratulations to those exhibitors.
On the British white side here, the heifer calf that starts, I think, has the most good to her. She's got the most substance of rib and the most bone, and along with that, she gets around the ring really nice. Takes a good long stride, and just a heifer with a lot of substance and a lot of look to her as well. The heifer here in second, a little bit choppier when you ask her to move, and maybe a little bit more refined in her bone work. But I think she's a heifer that's pretty correct up through her front end. She's got some look, she's got some shape over her top and some natural pin width. Just a little bit choppier when you ask her to move than the heifer that beats her. But I think she balances out nicer in her spine and back out through her hip. And a little deeper flank than this heifer with the red points here that concludes the class. Really a nice youthful heifer. I like a lot of things about, just probably could use a little bit more depth.
Congratulations, your grand champion Red Brangus bull exhibited by Maxwell Cattle Company with MCC Hot Shots 72H. And your reserve grand champion exhibited by back number 2230 EEDM Show Cattle. Congratulations to those exhibitors. We'll now get started with your Ultra Black and Ultra Red Bull Show.
Really an elegant heifer calf to start the class. Carries her neck really well when she's on the move. It ties in high to her shoulder. She's really good out through her spine and back through her hip. She's a youthful appearing female that I also think's the best on her feet and legs. The heifer here in second, love the femininity and the design up through her front end. She's a really deep-sided female. It doesn't level out as nice from her hooks to her pins. She is a big bone female that takes a really long and athletic stride. Just doesn't have the overall class or levelness, the design of our class winner. The heifer here in third, just a little bit narrower chested and maybe not quite as much bone as the two heifers ahead of her, but she's a heifer that's got a lot of good. She's a little bit lower headed than the heifer here in second, and especially the one that wins the class. But this is a heifer that's really long spine. She's got a lot of depth of rib, just very good. Tapers a little bit back to her pins, but there's enough more performance and size and scale to go ahead and get over the heifer here in fourth. This heifer's a little bit more gathered up and a little bit shorter hipped. Doesn't take the big old long stride of the heifers ahead of her. The heifer concludes the class just a little bit further behind. I think she's got some really good days ahead of her. She's a long-spined heifer that's level in her design and definitely good enough on her feet and legs. Just gets outpowered in this class.
Well, congratulations over here in your British White Show. Results of Class 11. First place exhibited by Kylie Spradling. Second place exhibited by Tina Williams. Third place went to Ben and Megan Hockerman. Fourth place, Tina Williams. And fifth place, Tina Williams. We're now going to bring in Class 12 over here in your British White Show.
Really a big, high-performing heifer to win the class here. I think with that, though, she's got enough to her if she'll continue to body down as she goes. Really lean in her condition. I like that about her. With that, she's got some spring of rib and some width out to her hip, just long and feminine enough to go ahead and get over this heifer here in second. I like the completeness of this heifer. Probably just gives up some performance. She's a little more gathered up. I'd like to lengthen her out a little bit and maybe loosen her up out of her hip, but a really nice heifer.
Well, congratulations in your first division of Ultra Black and Ultra Red Bulls. Champion Junior Bull Calf goes to Maxwell Cattle Company and Reserve to Wyatt Jackson. We're now bringing Class 10 Ultra Early Early Summer Yearlings, born May to June of 2020.
We'll leave these heifers how they come in. This red pointed heifer here that wins the class, just a really nice youthful design female, but I think the biggest thing is she's so much more relaxed and comfortable when you got them on the move and how she gets around on her feet and legs. Relative to her size, I think she's got plenty to her as well. Enough shape, really good back there through that hip and got some natural muscle to her. But she's just designed better all the way from her neck, through her spine, back through her hip, and so much more comfortable on the move than this heifer in second. This heifer's really a bold sprung heifer. It's got some natural muscle and just like to level her out and loosen her up a little bit.
Congratulations. In Class 13, first place exhibited by Savannah Warren and second to Tracy Van Horn. We'll now bring in Class 14 over here in your British White Show. Well, over here in your Ultra Black show, we are going to bring in all of your division champions, and our judge will be selecting his grand and reserve grand champion, Ultra Bull.
Nice single entry heifer here, really pretty up through her head. She's a very complete female, got a lot of substance, a lot of shape of rib, plenty good enough on her feet and legs as well. We'll look at her again when she comes back out.
Congratulations in Class 14, first place exhibited by Tracy Van Horn. We'll now bring in Class 15 over here in your British White Show. For those of you that are sitting ringside, please put your hands together and thank our judge over in Ring 1, Mr. Tim Fitzgerald of Sullivan, Indiana. Congratulations, your Grand Champion Ultra Bowl exhibited by GKB Brangus and your Reserve Grand Champion exhibited by Maxwell Cattle Company. Again, thank you to our judge, Mr. Tim Fitzgerald.
Nice pair of heifers here, but the higher performing heifer we're going to go ahead and start with. And I think with that being said, she just steps down on more foot and bone as well. She's a really long, extended heifer that's very level from her hooks to her pins. A little more feminine and attractive, and her neck set too up in that front third. The heifer here in second relative to her size, I really like the depth of body she's got. She's got some spring of rib. She's a very easy fleshing heifer, not as good footed, probably a little bit softer in that ankle and pastern, but two nice heifers.
Congratulations in Class 15, first place exhibited by Ben and Megan Hockerman, and second to Kayla Garrett. Now in the ring will be Class 16.
Really a striking heifer when she comes in that's very good on her feet and legs. She's definitely eye-catching. She's a level design female. It's got a lot of shape to her rib, very ample in terms of muscle, very cowy up through that front third. Heifer I like a whole lot, and it'll be nice to see her come back out.
Congratulations in Class 16, first place exhibited by Tracy Van Horn. We're now going to bring in Class 17. This will be your final class before our female Grand Drive. That's right. You heard me.
Really a nice heifer to start the class with, and she does it pretty easy. She's really stout. She's got a big old foot underneath of her. She just got so much more substance and power and bone, and with that being said, she still has an attractive look and just so much mass and volume. Hard heifer to get around. The heifer here in second Doesn't maybe follow the type as our class winner in terms of her frame size, but I think she's a fresher heifer that's sounder on her feet and legs. She's bolder sprung. She's got more hip to her. Just gives up quite a bit of size to the two heifers on either side of her. This heifer in third is really long and extended, and she's a higher performing heifer, just a little bit flatter in that forerib and a little bit flatter throughout, and wants to taper off a little bit in her pin set, but three really nice heifers.
Congratulations in Class 17. First place exhibited by Tracy Van Horn. Second was exhibited by Kylie Spradling. And third, Tracy Van Horn. At this time, we're going to bring in all of your champion and reserves, first and seconds out of your classes here today, and our judge will select his grand and reserve grand open British white female. At this time, we need all of the first and seconds of our British White Show into the ring, please. We are going to be selecting your grand and reserve grand champion females. Well, congratulations. Your first place in the Produce Dam will go to MP Brangus Ranch.
Well, a really nice lineup of heifers when we get them back out here together. You know, it's really neat. Several things about this show, but one is the numbers you have. I'm sure it's growth and just the quality of cattle you have. But I think it's extremely neat for the Cattlemen's Congress to include so many breeds and be able to give you a show and a setting like this. And it's good for all of our breeds to be able to come out here and exhibit. And I hope that everybody gives the people involved with putting these shows on the proper amount of respect and just being thankful for the opportunity to come out here and show, because they really put on a great show for all of us. The week's wrapping up a little bit as far as a lot of these breeding cattle go, and it's a very unique opportunity to be out here. That being said, I'll go pick your champion reserve female.
Congratulations, your champion British white female, exhibited by Tracy Van Horn with SC Jazzy Girl. And your reserve champion white park female, exhibited by Tracy Van Horn with Tara's Rubras 2122. Congratulations to those exhibitors. We're now going to go right into your British White Open Bull Show. Class 18 will look for in the ring at this time.
Nice pair of bulls here. They're a little contrasting from one another, but we'll keep this bull in the lead here. And first, he's definitely more rugged. He's got more shape to him. He's got more hip to him. He's got more bone to him. He's just constructed a lot more powerful. Both these bulls got some testicular development relative to their age. This bull's probably a little bit better footed too, but where the second place bull beats him is probably the angle of his shoulder. He's a little bit more extended up through that front end. He's somewhat more comfortable in his joints and just a little bit more relaxed up in that front end, but he just gives up so much more substance and spring of rib and ruggedness to our class winner.
Well, congratulations in Class 18. Results of that class: first place exhibited by Tracy Van Horn, and second to Ben and Megan Huckerman. Now in the ring is Class 19.
Really nice single entry bull here. He's kind of a combination of those last two, the way he blends together. He's good up through that front third. He lays in neat at the point of his shoulder. He's got some shape over his top and back through his hip, and when he walked in, he was very comfortable. Dang sure got some density to him with some added look. Another nice single entry bull, really long and extended up through that front third. He too has some muscle to him. He's got some shape to him. The way his bone lines up and matches his foot, I think, is extremely good. Just a really nice, complete bull. A nice single entry. This bull, relative to his size, is exceptionally long-bodied. With that, he's straight in his lines, and he's very, very advanced in his testicular development. Got a lot of character about him. He's really good on his feet and legs as well.
Well, congratulations. We are at this time going to bring in all of your firsts and seconds, and our judge, Mr. Jason Hoffman, will be selecting his Grand and Reserve Champion, Open British White Bull.
Really nice lineup of bulls out here. I know we had some single entry classes, but I think these bulls represent your breed exceptionally well. And I think there's a bull out here that'll fit a lot of the needs from the breed as far as just keeping your quality up and something you can really work for. And again, I'm sure your breed, like a couple of the breeds we exhibited here this week, are very appreciative of being able to get out here on this platform. It's a great representation. It's a good place to showcase our bulls, and I hope you guys have a big future here at the Cattlemen's Congress as well.
Right? Well, congratulations, your champion British White Bull, exhibited by Tracy Van Horn. And your reserve champion British White Bull, also exhibited by Tracy Van Horn. Again, congratulations to our British White exhibitors. A special thank you to our judge, Mr. Jason Hoffman.